Good morning. Um, this is the room has changed quite a bit. I don't know if you guys can see like this little corner over there. Um, there's like a bunch of decorations and everything, but I am not yet gonna do that room tour because there's still some things that I want to do, and there's still some decorations to finish. Though I think I've been like okay at recording the process, but there will be a tour at the end. But I'm not here to talk about that today, obviously, because I never talk about anything relevant to anything really. But today, I don't know. This is just so silly, but basically, like, I think there's this person that I keep coming back to mentally, and then this person has been mentioned in videos before. Like, if you see me continuously talking about somebody and like our great connection and whatever, this is probably still the same person even though I'm very much not feeling romantic emotions anymore. I think it is pure nostalgia at this point. It is genuinely loneliness on my side. It is genuinely just the fact that I also moved to a new place and, you know, these kind of connections build over time. And I've spent very little time building connections because I just got here. Um, so at least very little in comparison to something that could become an important or meaningful connection, right? I think there's still experiences to be had that will hopefully lead to these things. I think I'm young and I have hope that there will be many great feelings and wonderful friendships and beyond in my life to come. So I'm excited about those. And hello to my future lovers, but this is not about you, people. um, yeah, it's just that I know that this person is currently seeing someone else. And I think, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but basically, when I found out, I dealt with it really well, surprisingly. Like in the moment, it hurt. But when I heard the name of the person, I was like, wow, because this person is great. And I really like her. So it made sense. It made sense that they would have a thing because they, just seemed compatible. Even though I never saw them interacting together, just from knowing both of them separately, I was like, yes, definitely. It sounds like a good, healthy match, which is not something that I could provide, unfortunately. Um, but sometimes I see her stories because we follow each other. Obviously, like I think she has no idea about whatever my role was with this person in the past because it was not really like a public or big thing outside of my friendships with whom I would talk about it. So I don't think it reached her necessarily. And it's just hard, just just thinking about it. I don't even know if they're still having a thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they are. um yeah. But yeah, I just saw her photo and that was quite something. It was just like a feeling, a brief feeling of, yeah, it was you. And obviously, I think there's a bit of comparison there of like, you and I are not the same person. So it couldn't have been me. It was going to be you. Um, and then there's also a fear that comes with that feeling of, what if it's never me? You know? Which contradicts what I just said about looking forward to all these loves and everything. But it's not about finding love. That's never the concern. I think there can be many sparks, but having something that endures, having something that is genuinely capable of surviving. And I think survival is not a word that should ever be used when we talk about love, but it's what comes to mind because that has been my experiences. It's like, how long will this last? Until it's shattered or it's ruined or it can never go back to something nice. I hate that moment in relationships when you know you cannot turn around. When something happens and you're like, we're just not gonna recover from this, and that is honestly doing a favor to myself if we don't recover from this. Like, there's some people that you're better off without for sure, and I guess having that realization with the individual people um, is as liberating as it is painful. So I don't want to compare myself to her because I like who I am, and it's, you know, I feel like I struggle so much with admitting that because I grew up hating myself and being like generally hated in the surrounding spaces where I was, and like constantly bullied and reminded about how I wasn't worthy of basically anything. But now that I, kind of worked on myself and, did the things that I wanted to do and, focused on my art and like I guess developed a personality, I don't know. Um Now that I've reached the point where even these people that used to be super mean to me no longer have the basis to be mean. Um, well, that these kind of people that used to bully me, and not the same people, but the same vibe of people now wants to befriend me, then it feels like kind of selfish to utter the fact that I like myself and that I enjoy, my own company and that I think I'm a cool person. um yeah, I guess I just decide no, it shouldn't feel that way because I've worked a lot to get to this point. And even if I didn't have the background story to be like, oh, I hated myself and now I love myself, like it's still, we should not be shaming people for liking themselves, like the fuck. um yeah, so I think I'm there definitely, but there's still some anxiety that maybe I might be the only one who gets to that point. I might be the only one who wants to spend time with me. um, it's a little scary. And I don't know if this feeling passes. I hope it does. I have hope. I felt many ugly things in my life and they've passed. And I think I felt beautiful things that have endured, at least momentarily. Like this self-love, is enduring at the moment, and I hope it remains that way. And I hope that whenever, if there's some sort of fluctuation, that it's just a doubt and never a convincing that I don't deserve that love. I hope that stays as a matter of fact for the rest of my life. Even though I'm reading a lot of ontology right now, which is the philosophy of being, and that's basically like kind of breaking apart my idea of matters of fact. But there are some things in life where philosophy has no place. Philosophy is the analyzing machine, the deconstructing theoretical practice. Philosophy as a feeling, sure, always. So, yeah, I saw that story. I saw that girl. I hope she's doing well. She's really cool. She is really cool. Like, she has a lot of friends and she's very well liked by me too. Like, I used to love whenever like we would hang out, which was not very often because we're not in the same spaces. But whenever we would, she would be a great time to, you know, to be around. And I hope that they are doing well. And yeah, it's a Sunday night. I have to keep doing homework.